No matter what is happening, things will all go my way. I see heaven and I don't have to wait for you to recognize that love resides in this place. Why not listen ahead? Why you making that face? You be tripping, so you think about something different. Why you making just relax with it, ain't no accidents, it's just all for the love.
Heaven high, everybody. Welcome. Heaven high, everybody. Let me tell y'all how excited I am. I'm Tangi Ambrose. Welcome to Heaven High Podcast. And I have all these amazing guests every single week. And I'm flipping, going through Instagram. And I find this sister, Crystal the Oracle. First of all, I had to look up Oracle.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I had to look. I was like, Crystal the Oracle, but it was Oracle like I thought Oracle.
Yeah, but absolutely.
She's so much more. I got excited because she's also intuitive. You said you were trained. You said I've read the Bible over and over again. What did you call yourself?
I'm a Christian apologist. I'm trained as a Christian apologist. So I've read the Bible cover to cover 6 or 7 times.
Do y'all hear that? Christian apologist. Let me write it down because we probably don't know what that is.
A Christian apologist is someone who is trained to defend the faith.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not necessarily a Christian anymore. I'm trained as an apologist. So.
I was going to say that's very interesting.
It is, yeah.
Yes, but... Okay, so we'll have to talk about that. She's also an intuitive developmental coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you help people develop that intuitive quality that we all have.
Yes, I help
listening to that still small voice.
I'm doing it right.
That's awesome. As a teacher, I was really excited to see that you're a somatic trauma therapist.
I am.
I've had some 101s with students that were learning how to speak English. And I felt like they had some trauma as younger people. Well, I mean, they're only kindergarten, first, second, and third. But I could almost hear their parents yelling at them saying, no, you need to get this right. Because when I would try to teach them English, they would just close up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I told the principal they need some somatic healing. And they said, what? And so now I know where to send them. But let me tell you, I love this. Crystal is a firm believer in the transformative power of trying new things. Platonic cuddles. Who want to come cuddle with me? I prefer a man. I'm sorry, ladies.
I mean, until you cuddle me, you will. It's fine.
Okay, very good. Very good. Everyday indulgences and anointing with potions. I mean, so much. But guess what, Crystal? When I first got excited, because all of that is so in alignment with Heaven High Podcast, but it was the trading.
Oh, really?
It was the trading because let me tell you a secret. Y'all act like you don't hear this. Mm-hmm. When I first started doing this podcast, it's because I've had so many spiritual experiences, metaphysical, out of body, right? Mm-hmm. And so I started speaking to people who had near-death experiences, and all of them were white. So I was like, it's got to be some Black people that have had some near-death experiences.
Oh, yes.
So, but it's not as many of us that speak about the near-death experiences or the intuitiveness or the somatic therapists, trauma therapists, and the potions, because we're reared to only see God in one way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if we don't see God in that way, it's a problem.
Well, I'm going to tell you, God doesn't mind that so much. So I'll say source versus God.
Yep.
Source don't mind that. If you want to see source in one way, source is fine as long as you are seeing them for everything that they are. I think the problem comes in when instead of you seeing source your way, you want everybody to see source your way. And your intuition and your connection with source is so highly individual that it's impossible, right, for us really to all see source the same way. Like the brain is only taking in 0.004% of information. It's deleting and distorting the rest all the time, right?
Yes.
So highly individual, the things that we pay attention to. You're gonna make me start. Keep going. I'm sorry.
This is wonderful because I do come into contact with people. I can talk to anybody, atheist, Presbyterian, Christian, New Thought, New Wave, everybody. But when I get them all together, some of them want to say that the other people are wrong if they don't do it that way. So I appreciate that. Now, because I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina,
Come on, Fayetteville.
I have to know how a beautiful sister like you from Charlotte, North Carolina, became Crystal the Oracle. Please tell me that first.
Okay, so I was always Crystal the Oracle, I think. From the time I was very little, they would say, something's talking to the baby again, right? Like something's talking to the baby. I was always incredibly intuitive, as we all are. And then as I grew up, I actually got diagnosed with something called dissociative identity disorder, right?
Oh, interesting.
Which just means that things were talking to me and everybody was like, hey, just integrate, just be one clear voice. So I was one voice. Integration was the journey of my life, just doing the one thing. But you know what it did? It made me mean. And it made me like this all the time because I was denying all the things I was hearing and feeling and everything just to stay integrated. So I keep going, I go on. You asked me about my children. I have 3 magical kids. They're the best. I had 2 boys and then I had a daughter. Now the daughter happens to have my face. Exactly. Copy paste.
Okay.
She looks like me from the moment she was born. So the moment she's born, I'm looking at this little woman, this Black woman child that I brought into the world. And I say, either we're both perfect the way we are, or neither of us are.
Ooh.
And in that moment, there was only one option. We were both perfect. And at that moment, when my daughter was born, I say she birthed me as much as I birthed her, because in that moment, I couldn't be anything other than myself. So then I went on this journey to find Crystal, inspired by my daughter. The first thing I did was I started getting crystal dishware, right?
Okay.
So I got crystal dishware. Because at this point, I was an instructional designer and a corporate change manager, right? Yes, I worked for really big companies. They would bring me in for dire circumstances, diversity, inclusion, reputation, ethics. We would usher companies through big changes, that kind of thing. And so I went and I started getting crystal glassware. And then I thought, I'm going to just go find some crystals. So I went to a little shop in Durham at the time. It's not there anymore, but it was called Everyday Magic. And when I walked in the door, they had this wall of rose quartz. And the rose quartz started talking to me like this. And I literally, this is a true story. I literally grab onto the door and the little shop owner brings me in and I'm like, I don't know what's happening to me. Sent me almost into crisis because again, my whole life had been about ignoring the voicing, ignoring the intuition, not admitting that it was happening. And so when those crystals started talking to me, I learned later when you can read crystals the way people read cards, that's called a lithomancer. So I'm a lithomancer. But I learned later that the crystals were speaking to me, and it was really just source speaking to me through whatever object source had, which that's how source works. The unseen is going to communicate with us through any means necessary.
And since you had shut it down, I guess when you walked into this crystal store where all that energy is amplified, you had no control. It was like,
it was exactly like that. And then I started working with crystals. I had 6,000 crystals before I sold a single one. So then at this point I was married. This is such a good story. At this point I was married to not the nicest person. Hopefully we'll come around. Y'all light a candle. Okay. So anyway, anyway,
Yes.
I was married, and I said to myself, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to go live on Facebook and see if I can sell some of these crystals. That day, I made $1,400 selling crystals.
Stop it.
Yes, because I knew the crystals so well because they had been telling me about themselves, right? So I was able to sell crystals with like the true meaning of the crystal because I'm communicating with it.
Yes.
So I'm packing these crystals up, and he's like he's and I said, look, you're not bringing that energy around these people crystals. And in that moment, Source's voice, not through the crystal, but Source voice said, why are you so more protective of those crystals than that crystal? And then that was it. That was the beginning of the end.
Ooh, that's good.
That was it. And so then I became Crystal the Oracle. I was selling crystals, teaching people crystals, and people said, how do I use crystals? I said, well, intuitively, of course. And they were like, well, how do I do that? Now, keep in mind, I'm a change manager and an instructional designer by trade. So I'm teaching people I know how to teach people to change their lives, right? I'm trained in that. And this is why don't question any part of your path, right? Because you never know how the puzzle pieces are coming together to help you be exactly who you came here to be, right?
Yes.
And so I know how to usher people through change because I'm trained as that, right? And I know how to talk to crystals, right? So I'm trained that. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to teach you how to use your intuition. And that's when Oracle U, which is my signature program, was born. So we talked about Crystal the Oracle. You had to look up what an Oracle is. An Oracle, my definition of an Oracle is someone who can hear from Source, interpret the messages, and then use it to affect their life. Now, you can interchange the words. If you hear from God and you discern what God is saying, and then you use that to listen, you an Oracle in my book too, boo. Like,
Tangi the Oracle.
Tangi the Oracle.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh,
so that's how it goes.
Now, was it easy when you finally, because you were obviously just stepping into your path, did you ever have a moment where you were doubting or afraid?
Oh, goodness. Ooh, well, can we talk about a couple of things? I have a book that is being shopped to publishers right now, 12 Laws of the Universe. One of the universal laws is the law of polarity. What the law of polarity means is that everything and its opposite, it's two sides of the same coin. So one of the things that Source told me early on was doubt is proof of faith. If you're on the path to your faith, the first thing you're going to do is go through its opposite, which is doubt. So most of the time when people say to me, Crystal, I don't know what my intuition sounds like. I don't know what it sounds like when God is speaking to me or when Source is speaking to me. I say, yes, you do. Because you know what your worry sounds like. You know what your doubt sounds like. Is it pictures? Do you just flash images of things going wrong? Do you feel prickly that things are going to go wrong? Do you just start speaking out of your mouth? Oh, I know it's going to be terrible. All those things are clues as to how the unseen, because your worry is just the unseen too. So all of that is clues as to how the unseen communicates to and through you. And once you know that it's working, law of polarity, you can flip it. And instead of speaking your doubt, you can speak your faith because it's the exact same thing.
I love that. I love that. I know my voice. That's why I cut my locks off, because the voice kept telling me cut them off.
Yeah,
and I was arguing. I was like, but my cheeks are fatter. I'm older. Look at my eyes. No. And I kept hearing it. And then one day I lost something and I prayed about it, and the voice told me where it was. That was the same voice that said cut the hair. I went into the bathroom and started snipping.
Release. It is release. So I want to talk about this last step of my journey because I probably will bring up the nervous system in this conversation, and people
have to. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I teach Oracle U, which is my flagship program. And let me tell you something. They can hear from Source. They can interpret the messages. They can do physical healing. They understand how to move through their life, right? They are oracles, but they still felt stuck. And I said, Source, you got to help me. I don't know, because there's nothing worse than not knowing what to do, than knowing what to do and not being able to bring yourself to do it. So I said,
wait. Can you say that one more time? Because that's beautiful and that's so true. Because today, Crystal, the Oracle, today, like right now, I'm in a place, or were you talking to me on the slide? Right now, I'm in a place where I'm supposed to move and I listen, but I'm like, I keep hearing, if you could do it, if you believed it would work, what would you do? And I'm like,
yes. So let's talk about this. So the people that went through Oracle U, they were tough. They were intuitives. They had it. And I said, Source, why do they feel so stuck? It was hard because, like I said, repeat it, there's nothing worse than not knowing what to do than knowing and not being able to bring yourself to do it. And Source said to me, somatics. I had never heard the word before. I Google it. Turns out the Embody Lab is where I went to. It's one of the best online trainings for somatic trauma therapy. Started their training the Monday. I was asking on a Thursday. The training started Monday. I said, I'm going to do it. I go into somatics and I realize that the capacity of your nervous system affects the quality of your entire life. Now you think about this. You are a soul and your soul decides to come into a body, right?
yes. Yes.
And in order for you to be in this body with a beginning, middle, and end, you have physiological processes. And those physiological processes are responsible for keeping you alive. That's what your nervous system is here for.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The only thing that feels like safety in your body is staying the same. So here we are trying to change, right? At a rate that's more rapid than any human before us, right?
Yes. Yes.
The amount of information we take in a week is more than a human 100 years ago would have in their lifetime, right?
Wow.
But our nervous systems, when we go to change, end up what it's called hijacking. Our nervous systems will hijack even our best intentions, because here's the deal. Your trauma responses operate 300 times faster than your conscious mind. Your trauma responses, fight, flight, freeze, people pleasing, happen 300 times faster than your conscious mind. So all those affirmations you got written on your mirror and all that mindset work, none of that's going to do anything if your nervous system has decided it needs to keep you safe. So what somatic trauma therapists, what that did for me, what that did for my intuitives was say, if you know something that you want to do, you want to move forward, but you find yourself stuck, you can't figure out why, it's probably your nervous system. So instead of asking yourself, why am I like this? Why am I like this? Ask yourself, why do I like this? So you say, ooh, I have this thing I want to move forward. I don't know why I feel stuck. Why am I like this? Why do I procrastinate? Why do I get in these loops and these relationships? Why don't I live up to my potential? Why don't why do I like this? How is this serving me? How is this keeping me safe? Right? How is this helping me feel soothed? Right?
Yes, yes.
Your nervous system's working for you, and you can soothe yourself with a decision that actually moves you toward what you want.
Ah, that's very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working with my nervous system instead of just expecting it to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, your nervous system can't be negotiated with, right? Mm-hmm. Your nervous system is here to keep you safe. Because think about it. If you're walking down the street and a knife is about to hit you, you're going to dodge before you think about it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because the prefrontal cortex, the logical decision making, it's the last part of the brain to form. It's the slowest part of the brain to kick in. Your survival stuff has to kick in first. So our nervous systems don't know that the thing that we're frozen, in the wilds 100 years ago, you would have encountered a saber-toothed tiger. You encounter a saber-toothed tiger, you're either going to fight the tiger, you're going to freeze, right? You're going to run from the tiger, right? Or you're going to try to make friends with the tiger. That's what be the trauma responses. Fight, freeze. Well, usually it's fight, flight, freeze, on, right? Mm-hmm. That's what you're going to do. And so your body puts you in those same mechanisms. decide you want to move forward, and then you either fight the decision, you run from the decision, right? You freeze in the face of the decision, right? Or you start fawning, figuring out how you can make the decision better for everybody else around you, right? That because your body doesn't know that it's just an email that you need to send, or a podcast you need to start, or a job you need to for it's your partner, right? Your body thinks it's a saber-toothed tiger that's
tiger. Yes. Yeah, I get it. I used to say that we're attracted to people who make us feel the way we felt growing up. Now, I'm not specialist. So I would give people this analogy. I would say, if you felt like this growing up, and if this was good, that's wonderful. Because when you meet the man that makes you feel like this, you'll be like, But if it wasn't good and you're attracted to this, then you're gonna like my daddy wasn't around growing up. So I'm attracted to men that love me, but are busy working all the time, right? Now, as I got older, I said, no, I don't want that anymore. So I want a man that's here. And then when I meet one that just loves me and wants to be here all the time, I'm like, I can't breathe. So what would I ask myself? Why do I like which part? What would I ask myself?
Yes. So there's 3 core needs of your nervous system: safety, belonging, and mattering.
Okay.
Safety, belonging, and mattering. And trauma is anytime you have to trade one for another, right? So if in order to feel, that is so good. It's anytime you get a trade, right? Trauma is
anytime you have to trade either your safety, your belonging, or your mattering.
Yes. So growing up, right, in a situation where you had a father loved you dearly, but gone all the time.
Military time.
Right? Yes. Oh, yeah, me too. I'm an Army brat, right?
Army too. So gone.
Yes.
Had nothing to do with me.
You weren't allowed fully to matter, right? In your childhood brain, right? In your childhood brain, you weren't really allowed to matter, right? So you got the pattern. In order to belong in this family, I've got to trade that I matter. That gets conditioned in your body. And then, like I said, the only thing that feels safe to the body is sameness. All change feels scary. All change feels like a threat, right?
Yes.
And so when you meet this person who consciously has, like I told you, that conscious part of your brain is the last one, that consciously has qualities that are different, not sameness, then they feel less safe than just doing the same thing.
Yes.
The good news is that your brain, the actual synapses of your brain, are malleable. Can change. So what we say is, what fires together wires together, right? So if there's no such thing as a belief, that's why the word lie is in the middle of the belief. It's just thoughts you keep thinking. So what you have to do is decide, okay, I am going to practice different firing together. When this person gets close and I start feeling avoidant, I'm going to take 3 deep breaths. I'm going to invite them for a walk around the block so we can walk side by side and not face to face, right? Right? Yes. And you're going to get that pattern in, and the little synapses in your brain are going to start wiring together, and then it's going to feel more and more comfortable.
Okay, so listen, if it's any fellas out there that are loving me, understand, if you're going to love me good, I want that. I think I'm ready. I'm ready for that. Now's the time. We got to go slow. Got to walk around the block.
That's good.
Not looking at each other. You got to let those synapses get together.
Very good. And then I don't want to plug potions, but we got to get you a reciprocity oil. So you can start calling in, what you ask, what you want.
The potions, y'all. Look at the potions. Do y'all see? I love the potions. But wait a minute. Potions are the fastest way to activate and manifest your intentions. The act of anointing your body with an oil potion is a powerful act that causes rapid shifts. And and she has descriptions of the potions. You have to check her out on Instagram. You can check her website too, but on Instagram, man. Okay, and here's another thing. Should we talk about the potions or this first? Watch this, Crystal girl. You ready? Here we go.
Okay, so Source just said something to me that canceled out like 90% of the questions that I had about my life, about my future. And it was this. Source said, stop asking questions unless you want the answer to the question. Oftentimes you're asking questions and you want the answer that you want. If you know the answer that you want, what you have isn't a question at all. What you have is an intention that needs to be set, and you're delaying setting the intention by asking the question over and over again.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're delaying. Oh my God. Okay. So what do we talk about first, Crystal? You choose. Stop asking the questions, what you're delaying, or the potions. You go.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. Yeah. So that's one of the things. A lot of times we are questioning, we're asking the universe questions. We want another card pull. We need to go to another thing. Somebody needs to tell us, but you know the answer you want. You're like, I can't get the answer to this question, but you know the answer that you want, right?
Yes.
If you know the answer that you're hoping for, you do not have a question. You have an intention. And so now, universal law of inspired action, you need to be aligning with the vibration of that intention and taking inspired actions toward what you actually want. When you get to a place where you honestly don't know what to do next, then ask a question, you're going to get guidance. But we wonder why we don't get guidance. And Source is like, I done told you the next 3 steps and you ain't done none of them.
You ain't done. Do you hear that?
Right.
Do y'all hear that?
This is a principle. Source is chivalrous. Source is chivalrous. So if somebody's walking, if you've got a gift for somebody and they walk in the house, they got a handful of groceries, are you going to hand them that gift? No, that would not be nice.
Because they got the hands full.
Because their hands are full. Go walk, take the steps, go put the groceries down, do what you know to do, right? And then you get handed what you're asking for.
Do what you know to do. Did y'all hear that? Do what you know to do.
One of the things I went viral for was telling people the difference between a choice and a decision. Because I can feel right now, somebody's like, I feel like I know what to do, but I don't want it to be the wrong decision. Okay. There's a different energy between a choice and a decision. A choice is just the choice you make. You just make a selection. You just say, this is what I'm going to try. It's just the taste, right? I give the analogy. You go into a coffee shop, you choose the syrup, right? You choose what you're going to get, you taste it, and then you decide if you like it. So the more you can divide your goals up into small choices so that you can have an experience, make a choice, have an experience, and then make a decision based on experience. Do I want to make this choice again? We want to think the whole thing through, and it's just keeping our nervous system stuck.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. So differentiate between a choice and a decision and watch how unstuck you get. You'll go, oh, it's just a choice. If I want to, I can make a new choice. Right?
Like I made a decision to do my podcast because I love it and because it blesses me and blesses.
Well, I think first you probably made a choice, right?
First, I made a choice.
You tried a couple of them and you were like, "Ooh, I'm not perfect at this, but this is good. Like I feel like this is the path I want to be on." Then you decided, and when you decide, you think of side means death. When you decide, you divide, right, and kill off all the other choices. So once you decided, I'm doing a podcast, now how you feel matters less because you decided. So you make a choice and feel into the choice. But once you make a decision, you go toward the intention, and how you feel doesn't matter as much.
You're absolutely right. If I'm tired on a Wednesday, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
Oh, that's very, very good. That's good, girl. Yes. Another thing that I saw on your page that I thought I didn't get the video though, that I thought was beautiful. You said, when we let something, like when somebody passes, we have a eulogy for them.
Oh yeah.
And at the eulogy, we talk about how wonderful they were and how much fun we had. And we laugh when we went camping, and we just tell all these great stories, and we cry some too.
Mhm.
And then you said, once we make a decision, all of it goes with the nervous system, to be more than what we are, to become something new, whatever that dream is, we have to say goodbye to
Yeah.
the old. And it was beautiful how you, I guess that would help for my nervous system too, how you talked about having a eulogy for me.
Yes, because what I find is every single time a new version of you is birthed, the old version of you dies, right? And
Yes.
oftentimes while you're birthing that new version of yourself, you start getting nostalgic for the old version. Like, ooh, maybe, and ooh, when this, it has the relationships too. You decide that relationship is not for you, and then you start getting, was it the right choice? Will I ever find? That is your clue that you need to go eulogize that version of yourself. Because this is something that I didn't say in real, but a lot of times we have a practice of not talking very nice to the past versions of ourselves.
Ooh,
Not
wait a minute.
realizing, not realizing that it was that past version of yourself. It was their decision, their experiences, right? The things they survived, the things they learned, the way
They got me here.
they got you here right now, right? So
Thank
the
you,
way we
Angie.
talk, yes, the way we
Yes.
talk about those past versions of ourselves really matters, because the future version of yourself hears you. Here's how you talk about past you. And
if
that's
you're talking about her like that, then I ain't gonna want to hang out with you.
I'm not even gonna manifest. Why would I even try to come through you if you talking to her like, so just be real kind and real appreciative to the past versions of yourself, and take time and eulogize them properly, right? So that you can fully step into what you decided to become.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Here, let me show you something else I found while I was looking at everything. I found a bunch of good stuff. Y'all, we're going to go slowly because this was fascinating. Okay. I told you she does the oracle trading, but it's deeper than that. So it says, before more of y'all sign up for Oracle's trade, I need to tell the truth, right? Then she says, trading didn't just teach me a way to make money. What it really taught me is how I betray myself and how to stop. What? Watch this, watch this, watch this. There was a season when I took $300 and turned it into $30,000 in just 12 weeks. I was locked in, focused, ambitious, and then I froze. When I saw that I was 26 trades away from 7 figures via the compounding plan that I'll share with y'all in the class, take the class, y'all. My nervous system shut down. It was more success than she knew how to hold. And she hit her upper limit emotionally, energetically, somatically, and her body said, ah! Now, we're going to pause, because even if we're not doing trading, if we're working a job where the first series, I don't know if you know, Crystal, I made my living as an actress for many years. First series regular role I got, it was over before I was even present.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, I can't audition anymore. Nobody wants to see me. I can't do other shows. I don't work today. What do I do? All this free time. And I was like, everybody wanted me, my friend. Everybody was nice. I didn't have to win anybody over. My system said,
Yes. Because you were more, you need to know, the human body, there's more dopamine in the pursuit of a goal than the achievement of it.
And so that's in relationships and in money and career. Ooh, did y'all hear that?
So
right
you decide, do you want the thing or do you want the wanting? Look at your actions and see, do you want what you say you want, or do you want the deliciousness of desiring it and the angst there's this book called Existential Kink. I talk about it all the time, but it talks about the same way how sometimes you could be like, pull my hair and and be kinky in the bedroom. You can be kinky when it comes to the things that you want and to create these push pulls and all of this stuff. And so it is one of those things where you have to really get yourself in the mindset of actually being what you say you want to be. And then get ready to like soothe yourself somatically so that your body can receive it. Because I'll tell you, when I was growing my following, you said, is there ever a time that I was doubting or whatever? I was just showing up and it was just fun. And I probably went from 2K to maybe 14K, just showing up, and it was fun. And then I was at 14K for almost 2 years and nothing happened because it took some time for my body to feel safe in that level of visibility. Yes. And that's why people want to skip steps. That's why you don't skip steps, because self-sabotage is when you go into fight or flight when faced with what you want. Self-sabotage is the nervous system who gets what it wants too fast, too soon, too early. That's one of the definitions of trauma, by the way, right? A nervous system gets what it wants too fast, too soon, too early. That's why I also say enjoy the journey, right? And then you go into fight or flight once you get it. That's what happened the first time I was producing all that money so fast. I'm better at it now. I learned how to hold it.
Good. Because y'all, look, wait a minute. Look how deep this is. She said, I hadn't yet dealt with the abandonment injuries that came with setting boundaries. And instead of respecting them and people, just walking away. So when I hit the place of creating a new level of success in the charts, those old stories showed up, and for a while, it wasn't pretty. Look at that. Trading shows you who you are in grief and stress and heartbeat. Look, there were times I used the charts the way a cutter uses a blade, to feel something, to give release, to give myself something to cry about when I didn't feel safe. So many people do that.
So many people.
You know what I think I'm addicted to?
What?
Miracles. I love when miracles happen, but I'm trying to stop loving, because they happen in my life, but I'm trying to stop loving them so much so that it can be like this.
Well, you should love them, right? Love them, but grow into a person who lives in a miracle, right? Is it a miracle if you created it? And I know you just want your magic to work that way, but if you have a gift, like, come on, you got to know. Anytime you say, why am I like this? You got to think of, why do I like this? You've got a gift. You've got an anointing for miracles, right? But instead of growing to the place, which is scary and vulnerable, right? Where you're having a level of success where there will be an actual miracle. You use your gift in these low places where the miracle is the bill getting paid and the miracle is the other. And I only had, 8 miles worth of gas and I kept driving, and that's not a miracle.
I went to the grocery store and they gave me free eggs.
That's it. You're anointed for miracles. You feel it. You salivate for it. You know yourself that it's a part of how you're supposed to be living your life. But you have to grow into the place of trust, right? Where your habits are giving you a level of life where the true miracles that are waiting for you can come in.
Let's all have a moment of silence, because we're going to do a eulogy for the old Tangi because we're stepping up so all the new stuff can come in, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
We do that, right? Like we have to pay attention to the ways we microdose things like fear and magic. I posted that recently. I said, every time you delay an action because you are afraid of an outcome, you're microdosing the fear. You delay starting dating because you don't want to be disappointed, but you're disappointed every night. Like you delay starting a podcast because you are scared nobody will listen, but ain't nobody listening to you right now. You microdose the fear when you're delaying the action.
Yes.
The only way to actually get free of it is take the action and then figure out for real if whatever the outcome is, and then make a new choice from there. Maybe you start the podcast and don't nobody listen, and you say, maybe it wasn't a podcast I was supposed to do after all. But
Right.
It makes you free from microdosing that fear. And so
Yes.
we do the same thing with our magic. We want to microdose our magic. I mean, I had a very talented person in my life who got invited to auditions for SNL and got invited to different things. Wouldn't go.
No.
Do the local theater company because that was the level of their magic they could control.
Yeah. Oh, because that was the level of their magic they can control.
Right. They would protect themselves from disappointment, but it's the gift. You're not going to deny the gift. So they got to put in the gift, but they're doing it in a way that's protecting themselves from disappointment. I'm not talking about you and your miracles that the world need.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to leap. We have to listen and leap, right?
Mm-hmm. But it won't feel like a leap. That's what they try to tell you. It's going to feel like a leap. It's not going to feel like a leap. It's going to feel like if you're doing, this is one of the things I said, I'm a biblical apologist. One of the things that the Bible gets right is it says the word of the Lord is like a lamp unto your feet.
I saw that and I was going to put that video. I love that because let me tell y'all, look, the word of the Lord is like a lamp unto your feet, and she turned the lights off. Let's turn the lights off. Turn the lights off, right? When you have a lamp, it doesn't show you the whole place, the whole room. It just shows you this little space.
Yeah, it does.
This little space. Mm-hmm. And your faith holds you in that little space, and then you move forward. And what I learned from Crystal today, if you have doubt, then you do have faith.
That's it. Doubt is actually proof of your faith. So when you feel doubt in that little bitty space, that's your clue. And you want to know why you don't see the whole way? Because if your nervous system saw the whole way, it would shut down. So what Source does, because Source is chivalrous, is Source shows us the step that our nervous system can take, and then we expand into people who can take the next step. So that when people are worried about something, they say, oh, I'm so worried because if this thing were to happen, I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I said, no, you won't. If that thing happened, you wouldn't be able to deal with it because you are not the you that would be dealing with that thing. But between here and there, you're becoming the you that's going to be choice by choice. You're becoming the you that can deal with the thing that you're afraid of. You can't deal with it now, but you're going to make a choice and have an experience and make a choice and have an experience and grow and learn. And then you're going to become the you that can handle the thing you're worried about.
Yes.
And not only that, the universe is going to give you grace, but the universe is not doling out grace that you don't need for your imagination. Take the movement forward, and then you'll be amazed at what you can do when you're actually in the situation. But no, Source isn't giving you a whole bunch of grace and comfort for the thing you ain't doing. You on the couch, you comfortable. Why you praying? Why are you praying for peace? You ain't doing nothing that need it.
Time for me to go home. Let me tell you, I'm going to be absolutely honest with the thing that I've thought that was scary to me about what I see my future, what I see God having me do. Sometimes when I'm meditating, I see bigger stuff than I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
This is the fear. I'm only going to say this one time, Lord, and then I'm going to let it go. And I'm saying it to Crystal, and she your people. So I think sometimes, what will my problem be then? Because I'm a spiritual being in this body, and I know I have to constantly grow through something. Mm-hmm. What is the problem going to be if all that's great? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This problem I can handle. What that problem is it going to be?
Well, here's the first thing. you interrupted your spelling. People were like, oh, I don't want to say this thing to Source. I don't want to speak it out loud. I'm going to say it one more time that I'm afraid. Source is not afraid of your truth.
Okay,
you can't lie to your nervous system.
Okay.
And a lot of people are stuck because they lying to their nervous system, saying affirmations they don't believe. And their nervous system is like, the fear is your friend. Your fear is your friend. Your fear is just the clipboard. It's saying, hey, have you considered that more money might be more problems? Like them people said. Like, have you considered fear is just working for you? It's just the person going behind you with the clipboard that's asking you what you considered, right?
The other things.
Right. And so you can say, yep, I have considered that. And I think I'm going to be able to handle that when it comes.
Oh, that's good.
I think there are resources coming to me that are not yet seen. I think there are people. I think there's training. I think there's education that's coming to me that I have not seen yet. And I will be able to handle and deal and collapse whatever comes to me. Yes, there are going to be problems that I have never seen before, and also possibilities that I've never imagined, and resources that haven't come to me yet. There's no vision without provision. There's no provision without preservation, right? So right now I'm in a season, I'm going to learn this preservation thing, and then the provision's going to come, and then the vision's going to come. And yeah, there are going to be problems, but the version of me that handles those problems is going to be different than the version of me now. Because here's the deal. You've got a track record. You have gotten through 100% of the things that life has handed you. 100%.
Yes.
Those are some real good odds that you'll get through the next thing. And here's the worst thing. The worst thing is you don't get through it. It takes you out of here. And then you ain't gonna worry about it anyway.
And that's better. That's good too. You're absolutely right.
There's never anything truly to be afraid of. Fear is just things to consider. But the more we fight that we're afraid, or the more we deny that we're doubtful, or the more that we lie to our nervous system about how we're actually feeling, the more stuck we feel. Because like I said, you can't negotiate with your nervous system. So if your amygdala has decided this is going to keep you safe, being stuck is going to keep you safe, being small is going to keep you safe, you've got to acknowledge that you feel those things, so it will release you. So it will know that your conscious mind is considering more people listening to the podcast, what more money will, and then you'll feel less stuck if you just start telling the truth.
Oh, because I'm walking along, claiming my blessings. My nervous system is right here. And my nervous system is like, she hasn't thought about this. If I don't acknowledge my fear, my nervous system is saying, she hasn't thought about this. She hasn't thought about this. She hasn't thought about this. And that's making me do this. And so I need to let my nervous system know, no, I have thought about that. And this is what I'm going to do. I thought about that too. And this is, I got you.
And you will know the truth. And then the truth makes you free. Right? Right?
Yes.
Yes. And so you can just tell them. That's why you said we talk about my robes. We ain't got to talk about my robes, but that's why I started coming online. I said, I need to come online more. I need to be more consistent, Source. If I'm going to grow, I got to be consistent. And I was like, and Source would be like, okay, I'm going to give you, as long as you're speaking, I'm going to give you wisdom. I'm going to give you insight. Okay, cool. And so I'm getting wisdom and insight. And then I'm like, wait, I need to change my clothes and put my makeup on. And then I need to, and then I feel stuck. I'm getting less wisdom, less insight, because Source said, do you want the anointing or do you want the aesthetics?
Right.
Do you want to be anointed or do you want to look anointed?
Right. Right. And I absolutely love that you are there with the robe on. I love it.
It's funny because then people see me like in real life and they're like, huh, you got dressed. I said most people cute online and busted in real life, but I'm busted online and cute real life.
In real life. You know, with my channel, well, you see I'm half naked a lot. I thought, I was like, do I need to stop expressing this side of me? And then I said, no, I can be spiritual and sexual and all that good stuff.
Because the thing that feels safest to other people's nervous systems is your authenticity. If you are hiding, think about it. We're all standing in a crowd. one person starts screaming and running, what happens?
Everybody's gonna scream and
screaming and running, because humans are a co-regulated species. Any nervous system that is within 9 feet of you, you are impacting it, and it is impacting you. So if you are showing up hiding and behind masks, and everybody's nervous system around you is reading, they don't even know why, but it's called neuroception. They are reading, there's a reason to be guarded. Right? But when you show up in your authenticity and you're not using any energy to guard yourself, no energy to mask, no energy to pretend to belong, then you get the insight. You can be free, and other people feel free around you.
That's why y'all like me being half naked.
Yes, and it looks good too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Sonia Marie says fear, that uninvited catalyst. Yeah. Abraham Hicks too says the further down you go, boom, the higher up you fly.
Yeah.
Because when we're laying all out, we're like thinking harder. We want it more. I am so excited. Well, let me tell y'all this. Check this out. Look at this. I like this. So I'm going to show y'all this one too. Isn't she cute? This is her website. Hey there, I'm Crystal. Look, she believes in trying new things, the power of platonic cuddles, really good sex. Me too, girl, even though I haven't had it in a long time. Daily indulgences, anointing my body with potions. And I believe in magic, but I believe it's found less in bibbity boppity boo and more in doing small things daily that shift and nourish your energy, nervous system, and mindset. And that could be meditation. That could be a potion. Which potion did you say I want? Because when I did screenshot, which one did it say that I should have when I did the screenshot? I'll take one.
If it's relationships, then reciprocity oil is the one we want when you're calling in relationship. Currency is really good when you're calling in more money. Snake oil, everybody needs a snake oil. They are so good.
Snake oil. Well, everything that I've said today, because my goal right now, I've been feeling like that voice that told me to cut my hair is telling me a relationship is nearby. So I've been working on opening up more to that. But that's not my goal. My goal is all this other stuff that I see myself doing. So which oil would I want?
Well, I mean, it gets to be a goal. If companionship is one of the things, and in your energy, this is not a lifetime you live without love. You know what I mean? It's just not. And so the companionship is going to be a part of your energy. You do not have to pretend like it's not. You can say, "Oh, I want companionship to come to me," and it'll come. Oh.
Okay, y'all, listen. I love this too. You can work with Crystal. How she's blessed me tonight, she can bless you. An intuitive life coach, magical BFF that you could hang out with you for the day until it's time for the kids to go to bed. Then you got to get up. Answer your questions, give you advice and encouragement, and also throw in a little energy work. Dazzle. And you see how smart she is, how it just flows off the tip of her.
Yeah, when we are in those Marco Polo sessions, they are actually 2-hour blocks, and you're in energy work for that 2 hours. But most people stay in the energy work for about 3 or 4 days after that. But people will come and they'll be like, I want to do this every week. But what they'll do is they'll be like, I got more out of this 2-hour session than I got in the last 10 years of talk therapy. I changed more because we're on both things. I tell people the conversation we're having is laying on top of the energy work. So the ways that you feel stuck in your energy and you really don't know, I'm actually doing energy work and we tweaking that. And at the end of it, they're like, I feel lighter. I feel like I can move. I feel like I can have the conversation now. I can, you know what I mean? They really change.
Yes.
And then I don't see them for another 3 to 6 months because it usually takes about that long for people to actually go complete the actions and see the outcomes and then get to the next place. And they do, they'll come back. I have a coupon where, it's the session is one price. And then if you need it, you can use the coupon. The session's a different price. I've had people say, I had the session and I got the job you were doing. I got the house. I got the thing. I'm coming back. You know what? I'm going to give the coupon amount back because my life has changed so much. They're so sweet.
Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. And I believe you too, because on one of your videos, you were making the potion and you were praying over it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I said, okay, sis, I see. And then when you talked about your ex-husband and you said, I am not going to let you mess with these people's energy.
Oh no, we don't play that. I have hundreds of testimonials for my potions, and I take it real seriously what I send to people's houses.
Now, do the potions have a smell?
So they do. Potions aren't perfumes, but all of these do smell really good. Now, they don't smell overwhelming where you're going to get a headache or anything, but they do all have a distinct smell. But the olfactory, which is the smell of the potion, the olfactory elements are all lending to the energy of the potion. So literally, Source just tells me what goes in the potion, and I put it together, and I'm always so thankful that they always smell so good. But there's a potion. Oh, I don't have it. Well, I have lots of potions right here, but there's one. This is Ready Oil. Oh, another Ready Oil. This one's Lust. This was a specialty one. I don't have Lust.
Ooh.
This is Snake Oil. This is actually my snake oil right here from where I teach.
Snake oil, rapid transformation and new beginnings. Release what no longer fits and allow what's correct to come. Expect big shifts fast with this one. The potion that started it all. I saw what one of your clients was like, my life has changed so much. And you were like, listen, do you want your life to change or do you want your life to stay the same? Because if you work with the potions, it's going to change. If you have to
think about the state of a thing informs what it does. So if we have crystals, right? Crystals are solid. They are conductors of the existing energy. They'll stabilize whatever the energy is. So like this is a white howlite. White howlite is good for anti-anxiety. If you're having a lot of anxiety, you want that energy to stabilize. You have white howlite around. That's what crystals do because they're solid. But potions are liquid. They're going to change. They're going to move, right? They're viscous, right? And so that's how you know when you're ready for the energy. If you want the energy to stay the same, grab a crystal. If you need to feel grounded in where you are, grab a crystal. If you want to move from where you are to where you decided to go, you need to grab a potion. And it does happen fast. People will say as soon as they place an order on the site, they can feel the potion energy. And I have hundreds of testimonials that say that. People will get breakthroughs in their life before the potion has even hit their doorstep.
I saw some people comment and say that too.
Yes. And if you feel uncomfortable calling it a potion, that's okay. I call it a potion because liquid plus intention equals potion. By the way, if you go to the beach or you in the shower or you speaking over your cup of coffee, you're probably a potion person. And these would be but if you want to call it an anointing oil, a ritual oil, whatever you want to call it, Source don't care about it.
Right. Okay. Here we go. This is the next thing.
Woo! This is so good.
Orientation. I love this.
It's free.
Go ahead. Yes, and it's FREE. It's free.
And it's 5 days of emails.
Here we
Oracle
go.
orientation is 5 days of emails. And by the end of reading those emails in those 5 days, you will be a different person. You will understand what it means to come to Earth, what your soul is here to do, how to use your magic, what the gifts are. Like it's a gift. It's just my gift. I was like, I just want to know. I am a trauma-informed, it's called trauma-informed sales. So for me, my purpose is anything that I do for marketing, I want to know that if somebody encounters me and they never spend a dime, they can transform. That's important to me. And Oracle orientation is one of those ways that if you don't ever spend a dime with me, you can change your life just by reading emails for 5 days. It's just I do that with my Instagram page too. If you just follow the Instagram page, if you just watch whatever I post day over day, you can change your life just with those tidbits too.
And everywhere she's brilliant. Everywhere she's the same. Crystal, the Oracle.
Yes.
So you don't have to be like the Oracle on here and OC and COT. No, everywhere she's the same. And then I want to show this Oracle trade. Now I didn't see anything to click to learn about the trading.
So yes, so there's
Wait a minute. Look, just to make you laugh before you talk about.
So if you are going to take Oracle's trade, I want you to know that what you learn will not be financial advice. It will be for educational, informational, maybe even entertainment purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an Oracle who day trades personally, and the people that will come and teach us strategies, they are not going to be responsible for any risks that you assume. You know, the market is so speculative and it's inherently risky, and none of us will be liable for any losses that potentially can incur. We also won't be liable for any benefits that you have, right? It's all going to be on you. So I'm going to say that part. Now I'm going to answer the question. And the question was, how fast can I recruit my investment? So here's what I'll tell you. The class is $200. What you will learn in the class about the market and yourself is well worth the $200. In that regard, you will recoup the investment right away as soon as you finish taking the class. Second thing I'm going to say is there's a whole lot of factors that determine how fast people make or lose money in the market. I'm going to share a plan, a tool. I'm going to teach you how to, how I trade. I'm going to bring in people that will help you with strategies, but still, like, nobody can guarantee what you will get in the market. I have done a couple $1,000s in a single trade. I have lost a couple $1,000s in a single trade too. So, it's just, if you hear this and it makes you feel like, maybe, or if you were feeling really desperate when you signed up or anything like that, just let me know. You don't have to take a class. I'll give you your money back. That doesn't bother me, not one bit. As far as the investment is concerned, you're going to learn what you learn, right? And then you're going to have some opportunities to sit with the market. I'm going to encourage you to do that in demo where there's none of your real money that you're risking. And then you'll be able to apply what you learned until you can start making money in your demo account. And then you will invest usually about $150 to start, and you'll start slow, right? And you'll learn how to use the tool. You'll learn how to set your trades. You'll learn how to manage risk. You'll learn all of those things. And then you will build from that, and you can compound. And once you start doing that, the sky's the limit. So that's how it's going to work. And maybe I'll write something like an FAQ or something to help us through that. But I just wanted to make sure I said that. Okay.
You're already making money. The group that went through Oracle's trade, they already making money. It's been about a month. They already making money. They already are traders. It is insane. So what has taken me kind of 4 or 5 years to get good at, they doing it in 4 weeks. They already making money. They already understand. It's been so cool and so rewarding. You want to know what made me do Oracle's trade?
Yes.
I have been trading just, kind of on my own for probably the last 4 years. That's, it's been my kind of secret thing that I had done over there that I didn't pay any attention to because it has nothing to do with intuition, really. And then I read a study that they did. Over 5,000 participants. They took one group and gave them free mental health services. They took one group and gave them just money. They took another group and gave them free mental health services and money. And these were people who described themselves as ready to end their lives. The group with the most positive outcomes were the ones who had just the money. Really? And so I'm over here like I'm calling myself a healer when the evidence is showing that the most healing thing that you can do is help people meet their physical needs. And at that point, I'm like, the market isn't perfect, trading isn't perfect, but the way the skill shows you your nervous system and the potential, if I can show them what I learned the hard way, like I want you to get the knowledge I got, but not how I got it. I can get them trading faster, making money faster. And there are there's a learning curve, right? But it's only been 4 weeks, and there are people in there, they are profitable and they are now compounding. I mean, I started a new account to do with them. What's today? Just Wednesday? With $50. I started with $50 on Monday, and my account's at $130 now. So yeah,
Wow.
just using the same little techniques. I mean, there is definitely money to get out of the market. And as a healer, I'm like, I am so tired of the people with the best hearts being the brokest. We got
Me too, Crystal.
resources to people with the good hearts and the big visions and the ones who want their hands to heal the world. They need resources. So I'm doing another cohort in November. It'll be the last one.
That's what I was wondering. When was the next one? And do they go to crystaltheoracle.com to sign up?
Yeah, they can go to crystaltheoracle.com. There's a wait list in there, or they can just follow me and I'll be posting it in my stories too. They can ask me questions. When you DM me, I have almost 160,000 followers, but when you DM me, I still answer my own DMs. I really do.
It might take her 5 days. It might take her 5 days.
It might take me 5 days, but I am going to answer.
She will answer. Yes, you
and
will.
Then I come on your podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you
I
go.
thought she forgot about me, and it was like,
I may not come when you want me, but I'm going to be there.
Always right on time. Okay, Crystal, before we go, you ready for this? Remember with the trading, it's you get the intuition, you can get the potion, you learn. She said you're not using your intuition with the trading. So it's a technique. So y'all, I say we sign up because I want to know the technique, just to know the technique. Because if with all the money that I have made in my life, if with the money that my mother left me when she passed, I'm not even going to go with all the ifs. If I knew how to trade, I could have made that money make some money. Yeah. So there's certain things I think moving into this new world, we need to know how to do. And you already know, I'm like listening to that still small voice. I'm big on that because we can't trust anything outside of us.
Yeah,
right now. Yes. Look at that. Look at that. So if we can, we should do this together. We should join together. Now, Crystal, before we go, thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you had, are you ready?
I'm ready.
One message to share to the world, or if you had a minute to say whatever you wanted to say to the world, what would that be?
It's exactly what I said earlier. You think you're supposed to decide and then do and then have an experience, but you're not. You're supposed to do, have an experience, and then decide if you want to have that again. Free yourself from thinking that you have to solve your life before you experience it. Just have the experience. And you can decide after you have that experience if you want to do it. Just make your now as nourishing as possible. Have the experience in your body and then go from there. Make a choice.
That was beautiful.
Law of inspired action.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's one more. Don't fight thoughts with thoughts. You can't fight thoughts with thoughts. You can only fight thoughts with words and actions. So anything that you keep thinking, you need to be speaking something different or making a different action. It'll keep you unstuck. So many. The capacity of your nervous system affects the quality of your entire life. That one. There are programs on my website. Go to my intuition school. There's a nervous system program, the intellectual development, inner child healing, money, how to feel your feelings, how to communicate, lots of stuff on my website. Can I just honor, you, Tangi? Thank you so much for having me. You are a bright light. You are sunshine. Thank you for being obedient. Thank you for being a miracle, right? I can see it all over you. And I can't wait to see how you expand. So good.
I'm sending you hugs, Crystal. Thank you. Okay, y'all. I'm so excited. Let me see. She says, Thank you both for this. Crystal, thanks for bringing me here. My Maybell, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Sonia Marie. Thank you, Biz Spotlight. Thank you, everyone. I'm so happy. Okay, I'm floating. And I will see all of you next week. Hold on. Here we go. Because, I like the opening.
I know today, no matter what is happening, things will all go my way. I see heaven and I don't have to wait for you to recognize that love resides in this place. Why not listen ahead? Why you making that face? You be tripping so think about something different. Why you making just relax a bit, ain't no accidents, it's just all for the
Heaven high, everybody. Welcome.
We ended at 1 hour, 11 minutes and 11 seconds.
Wow. Wow. That's perfect.
That was so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.